Thank you, Jesse. I will call the meeting to order and begin the meeting with the pledge to the flag.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And we normally start the meeting with opportunity for privilege of the floor. And I don't think we have anyone for that, so we'll move beyond that. And we will welcome Erin Downing to the meeting. Thank you, Erin. Yeah. So I'll just say, delightful to get your application. Thank you. It's great to have interest. And so Erin expressed interest in the review board. Erin and I emailed briefly today. As you know, Dak is Erin's husband. So I emailed her after talking to a couple of you the same. We were wondering, how, that would work for a couple to be on a board. And so Erin has expressed interested in getting involved in town affairs and interested in the planning board, which I suggested it. So that's great. So
but to be clear, if there was any concern, there was concern about the possibility of perception of a difficulty.
right.
Right.
Right, you might have to recuse yourself.
Right.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So I would like to open it up for questions for Erin. I'll just say thanks for your letter of interest. It made a lot of sense.
It's really good letters.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
that made sense.
And I guess yeah, and you mentioned that and I've observed, I've seen that you've been engaged and watching through our last few years of work on town land use regulations and zoning in particular. So I'll just open it up and ask you about why you're interested in serving.
Sure, yeah, it's basically just coming from a place of wanting to help. I've always been really rooted in like the place where I live. Like I just take an interest, special interest in like people, the land, et cetera, et cetera. So I really just want to like make Caroline like a good place for readers, basically. This is like a really important. All of the committees are really important to serve on. Third board just happened to have an opening, so that's why I picked. But I just volunteer my time. I have a lot of free time, so I'd like to help out as much as I can.
Great. And I'll rotate it around and let other people ask questions if you'd like.
So I don't know if I'll just say a little bit about the planning board. One of the things that the planning board helps us do is draft our legislation and research. So one of the things it was responsible for was redrafting the comprehensive plan, which provided the template for then considering zoning, for example. So it's now finishing working at the moment on revising our solar siting law.
Okay, I think I was here for a little bit of that.
Yeah, and then probably tweaking apropos our site plan review law. So kind of what the planning board does is provides the templates to the town board for consideration that we often then retweak. That then provides the laws for other committees like the review board to enact. I don't know if that's helpful.
Yeah, that makes sense, kind of like the background.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
I kind of think it's the most important committee in the town.
Yes. Are you on the thing?
Michelle's the liaison to the planning board,
And I used to be on it.
planning committee. And I used to be the liaison.
Yeah. I was on it and then everybody got moved to the zoning committee, zoning. Is it what it was called? Zoning committee?
Zoning commission.
Zoning commission, right. Everybody on the planning board got moved to the zoning commission for the duration of that project. And now it's, so they just finished working on updating the mobile home law.
I saw that you guys passed a law a few years ago that the planning board, for the planning board to have 7 members, senator.
Yeah,
And so, no, how many do they have now? 5?
I think
Bill,
they are Barb, Adam,
Brad. And
and Brad, yeah,
Brad, they have 5 right now.
the 5, yeah.
It'd be great.
Okay, yeah.
That is a question, that's my question.
What's the tone of voice?
That's awful. Yeah, that's awful.
Okay, Michelle?
No, I guess it just occurs to me to ask though, like how you feel if you happen to be working on something like zoning that's not popular with a certain group of people, like how do you feel that you can deal with that? You feel like you can let things go over you, or do you take it personally, or?
So I think I remember the meeting where you guys actually passed the zoning law and it was a little bit heated at times, so I think remember differently, so I like kind of understand like the personalities more now, I don't think it was that big of a deal, you guys walking with well, also I work in healthcare, which I think helps a lot with just like not taking things personally, not panicking, you know, I have nurses and doctors getting mad at me all the time for various things, and I just, you know, you get used to it, people just not really being happy with it, so I don't think those things are wrong with me, especially if I have like convictions about something as important as the zoning law, that would help a lot, just dealing with the situation, so I think I generally tend to like let things roll off and off. So I just,
I'm sorry, I forget, what do you do for work?
I work in the laboratory at the hospital,
Oh.
so just doing testing, like if you get blood drawn, we do all the testing on
I said,
it, so we're not
interesting.
healthcare.
I'm just gonna comment that one thing I've noticed about the planning board, especially with the chair, Bill, Ruka, which you may enjoy this aspect, that there's a lot of research. That they spend a lot of time reading laws from other towns and, you know, really, they just spent a lot of time looking at, say, the payments in lieu of taxes, like how that's organized in other towns currently, and you know, the mobile home laws, they investigated other towns, how they handle things. So there's a lot of research, which actually I think is kind of interesting.
I do, yeah, I think that would actually suit me well.
Yeah.
From science background, just in general, like research is my bread and butter, so I.
It's also nice to know, like, you're not coming up with the law all by yourself, right? You're gonna be.
I wouldn't think you guys would expect me to do that.
Well, the planning board doesn't do that,
Yes,
you know.
they're not lawyers.
They usually look at other laws, tweak them, you know, where it looks at them, it's not, you know, just you guys.
Okay, that's helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long have you lived here in town?
We bought our house in 2022. It's been almost exactly 3 years, but before that, we lived in Boyceville Cottages.
Okay.
Right.
Glad you stayed.
It's nice here.
Great. Anything, Jonathan?
Hi, Jonathan. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
I'm kind of new. I'm the newest guy.
Oh, so you're just like.
You've been there for a year and a half.
Yes. Well, if you compare me to everyone else, I'm still the newest guy. But I did not just got voted in this last election. I was sitting for someone else that left, and then when I was elected
Right, to fill.
last November, and then reelected. So 100%. Very proud.
Yeah.
Because I didn't run against anybody.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I guess the question I have is like any experience with public service or being on a or okay, and then the other question then like on a committee or a board or like either with a nonprofit or government.
Right, I don't have any government experience, I wouldn't really consider like the clubs and colleges, like, experience. I mean, we held like little elections, but that's pretty much extent knowledge. I don't really. A lot of the wording in like the laws, like I would definitely just have to get used to like reading these documents, but I think I can handle it.
But in terms of like being on a. So I just get to say my background is I was on a lot of nonprofit boards. In role of like treasurer and vice president and president and sitting in a lot of meetings. And so that's just kind of a culture. And just wondering if you had experience with that other than.
Are you asking if she likes meetings?
Well, just trying to get to, it's just something
I
that
like this meeting.
it is if you have an experience, it will be something new and some people like, some people don't. Some people don't like it, but then get good at it, even if they don't like it. Like in my case, it's for me, what I get out of it is like just the interaction with the conversation and for me, facilitation. I've learned a lot of facilitation skills being in groups like this. So just it's an opportunity to think about other ways of gaining experience and knowledge other than just the goals of whatever committee you're on, so or group. So okay, cool.
Yeah, I'm more than okay with it. I was actually kind of something I'm looking forward to, just having, sounds pathetic, more socialization, but like in a really impactful way. It's cool. And no, I have not sat in a lot of meetings, but I have attended some of the review board meetings, so I would just like feel like
Yeah, it's good.
I can sit quietly for longer periods of time. Cool. So, yeah.
I hear your point about talking about the lingo or whatever that goes with it. So I remember early on, seeker. It's
Right,
not really a word, but you know, I had no idea what that was.
it's not like a seeker, it's seeker.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. Don't be afraid to ask what acronyms are, yeah, or just. I hate acronyms, get talking.
I think I will too,
There's lots of them.
I know, I'm always asking what they mean.
and I'm not afraid to ask questions.
That's excellent.
Yeah.
That's excellent.
Well, I think
That's
planning
a good
board
attribute.
is a good fit because, well, there are other scientists on it as well.
Yeah, I think you'd really enjoy it.
Good to hear.
Anything else? So. Thank you very much for stepping forward and I would suggest that we pass a resolution to appoint Aaron to the planning board.
Second,
Great, thanks, by Tim. Any further discussion? I guess the one thing I was gonna mention, like, for all of the committees, there's kind of like a statutory, mandatory. It's mandatory, but if you don't do it, it's not the end of the world, but 4-hour training a year, of some kind. I think that's the only thing. But yeah,
Let's do it.
great. And what I don't have in front of me, is the term that I would select for Aaron. So I'm wondering, since it would be, I would suggest we pass the resolution at the first December meeting,
Yeah.
so that I can tee that up. And, even if that wasn't in advance of the planning board meeting, you could attend, you can
You could,
attend.
yeah, you can always attend it. Forget the next planning board meeting is December 12th or something.
Right. And even if it was before that,
It'd be after that.
you could attend anyway, but
Yeah.
I think I'll do that, so I'm not
Good idea.
passing multiple corrective resolutions, but anyway, thank you.
Okay, yeah, and that's something I'll probably go to that meeting. But thank you all,
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for stepping forward.
Yeah,
of course.
awesome.
That's great.
Be careful what you wish for.
Not afraid to resign. But no, I'll probably be here until my term ends, so. Yeah, I look forward to it.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Cool,
Thank you.
wonderful. Thanks and welcome.
Should I stick around or?
You may,
It's up to you.
if you
Yeah,
wish.
you too, maybe.
Okay,
It's up to you.
I'll just stick
Okay.
around.
So we'll move on to the reports, and I will steal Michelle's copy. Read my report. So I just reported on an update on the broadband project. So I did want to comment on, people have probably noticed a lot of large utility trucks around town lurking at the utility poles and doing a lot of brush cutting and things. So that's making the utility poles ready for the broadband. Also, a lot of the poles are being replaced to provide enough space for the new fiber roads for the town of Caroline broadband. And I've seen there are like, I think 4 different contractors working on that. They're really pretty feverishly out there getting
Yeah,
stuff ready.
Some on 76.
They've like written in paint on the road up near me, the numbers of the pole and stuff.
Designating, yeah,
Oh,
great. So that's what that's about. A Conex, which is a word that I didn't know about until about a month ago. The metal storage containers, at least some people call them Conexes. But you see them all
People
over.
call them tractor trailer,
Yeah.
tractor
Like-
trailers.
Yeah, yeah, so and now that I've become more familiar with them, I see them all over the place. But we got one for the broadband project. It's at the highway site. Highway department prepared the site Monday morning and it was delivered.
where is it?
Excuse me?
Where is it?
Where the wood chips are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw it there.
Where the wood chips are. You'll have to go look for it. It's not,
Well,
It's not really obvious.
it's not obvious, but
Okay.
if you're looking for it, it's hard to miss. So
Okay.
you'll find it. It's
Color is it?
beautiful.
what color is it?
Green, right?
Gross.
Like
It's
a-
gross.
Like a big wood chip, okay.
It's like
It's like a
rusty.
olive green or something, kind of like,
I think it's red.
Blends in. You
Yeah,
don't even notice it, it's there.
maybe, I don't.
I remember, well, anyway, I just got a, I was driving, I just got a quick look, so I didn't study it, but it's there.
So we could put banners or something on it for the broadband program or something
Oh,
like.
maybe
use
you'll
it
learn
for
about that.
advertising, so. And so that was done on Monday, and highway department's gonna be making some modifications to the inside to accommodate things, spray foaming and putting some shelving in, so it should be ready to go pretty soon. It won't be used for a month or so, but it will be.
And there's a gated lot just behind it that we're gonna use also to store the bigger
Right,
cable items.
right, that'll be a storage yard, so. This project has to be completed by the end of next year. So we're 2 board meetings away from the end of 2025.
Yep,
And then it's gonna be 12 months to get this project done, so it's gonna be all hands on deck, I think. But things are moving. And probably the slowest part of the project was getting the pole permits from the utilities. And so all those are either obtained or are in process. So that's good. And 4 bids were received for the site prep and pad construction for the point of presence or POC or the utility hut that will be right next to the town offices. So that was yesterday was the due date, and then so the town board of Dryden will be selecting the winner tomorrow, and then that will be happening fairly soon. So I expect that to be done by the end of the year.
Will you be able to see those in advance?
I don't know. I don't think so. I think we could ask about the key vantage person, Braden, about, we can see that in advance. Once the hut's already been selected, so I think we can see that. I think we can see that.
Just so that we know what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be beautiful. So that's the broadband. The old town hall project, renovation for this building is going along swimmingly. I'm excited about that. I met with the project team and Historic Parks, from what we got the grant, to discuss. Now that we've gone through it, there are a few aspects of the project that are beyond the scope of the original proposal. So Barrow thought it prudent to get permission for those changes before we put the project to bid, which makes a lot of sense.
Okay.
So the rear enclosed stairway is one, gutters, and then sort of architectural flourishes to the front of the building where the original bell tower was attached. So that's moving. And then in the printed copy, Michelle alerted me that I had the wrong date here for the next meeting with Barrow Architecture is this Friday, which is
21st.
November 21st at 9:30 a.m. right here. And it will also, at least some of us will be here, and then it will be also by Zoom. Anybody wants to attend. So. The Tompkins County Industrial Development Agency held public hearings on the proposed payment in lieu of taxes for the 17.5 megawatt 76 solar project on Thursday, November 6th. The company requested a deviation from the standard starting pilot amount of $4,200 per megawatt to $3,900 per megawatt. And that's per year. And the pilot proposal was voted on by the Industrial Development Agency Board, which is composed of Tompkins County legislators, on Wednesday, November 12th. And the deviation was approved based on the high interconnection costs for the project and the resulting improvements in grid capacity for additional users from that. So that's good. And then the final note is that Kate and I met with a Brookendale resident who has requested that her streetlight be turned off last week after dark when it was actually working. And
It was sleeting.
yeah, and it was raining and sleet. The light is one of a series along Brookendale Road. That's in the Brookendale Street Lighting District. And so what at least I tried to emphasize is that these lights are there for a reason, for safety. So I wouldn't advocate that it be removed. So I have dimmed the light to 50%, as I have for a few others. So we can consider that. We could consider shielding. I did inquire about shielding. It costs about $500 per light to put shielding on. I know of 3 other lights that are shielded, so we might want to kind of do a visual assessment to see if we think it's worthwhile. I just glanced at, did a drive-by, and I think it takes a little more intentional look to ascertain the
So
effect.
like what angle that's
Yeah,
shieldings at,
exactly.
whether or not that would affect.
Right. So,
That house, because it's very close to the road. It is at an intersection.
and people did walk by while we were talking with their pooches and stuff, so. Okay, so that's my report. I will, any questions before I see the floor?
I actually thought of something, maybe you thought about this too, is this wasn't the first and it won't be the last request. I'm wondering if there's any kind of standardization response that we want to create that says, I mean, maybe you can once again do what you did, but something that's more. So we don't, each person's not like,
Yeah,
it's,
no.
it's more cookie cutter rather than case by case. It's something to consider.
Yeah, I agree. I thought about that. I asked NIPA if they had a standard policy. They said, no, we don't, but they did say, be careful about especially removing lights or whatever, because in fact, this particular light was out a few years ago and somebody said, we need this light on. So you definitely, at the very least, it's a community conversation. I feel like after finding the streetlight policy, just that I could tell, I didn't study it intensely, but I could see that a lot of effort went into establishing this and trying to figure out a rational way of determining where a streetlight should be. Based on that, I have a lot of reluctance to back away from that.
Mhm.
I'm perfectly happy to. I was corresponding with the NIPA rep for maintenance today, and he said really the best thing you can do is dimming. So, and that you can do for no cost. I can just do it. So, and I'm happy to do that.
And I mean, very simple, it would be just, it could be one page outline like, here's the policy, here's where you can read it. Here's what we've done in the past and here's what we're doing now. Dimming is one option, just be like, just clear, so that someone that asks, instead of
Yeah.
getting 2 people to go out and spend time with a community member for how many hours.
1 out of 79 streetlights.
Right,
Yeah,
at least you could start with that and people will read it and might go, oh, that might be the end of the
Yeah.
conversation.
and that is why I shared the town of Ithaca's documents with you guys. So, I mean, I'm all in on maybe we should study those and kind of come up with
I mean, we do have lighting.
some sort of a,
districts.
what's that?
We do have lighting districts, that are established, and I don't think we could just turn one off here and there when
Right.
requested. Because it's a whole area that's lit.
Right, but people don't know that, and so
Right,
it's
so we
something,
can
a policy
explain that.
that you can just email somebody or
Yeah.
say,
Yeah.
it's in your office, come look at it, or whatever, I don't know.
Yeah.
How it's done, on the website.
And I think a
That's a
lot of
good
people
idea.
don't know there are lighting districts, I mean, it's on your taxes, right, but, if you're a renter, you'll see that.
Yeah.
They look upon. it as
Everybody's-
arbitrary.
Everybody's in the lighting district.
Is everybody in the lighting
Yeah.
district now?
I mean, we could even include it in a little bit of an education too, because I know they're all LEDs now, right? And so you could say stuff about like how we changed them over and it's more ecological, like you can like really play it up and so people understand.
Yeah.
The impact of the district, it's like a big deal, and there's this policy, it's a big deal, and
Yeah.
we save money.
Yeah.
Because they're
Big idea.
LEDs.
That's a great idea. Yeah, so,
How
As far
how
as-
is something like that done? Is that like I have to raise my hand and like I'll do that? Is that how
Yeah.
that works?
is that what you're, is that?
Is that what you're doing? That'd be great, great.
That would
I
be
didn't
great.
wanna say that, but I was wondering,
We're just waiting for you to.
If you'd like to draft something, that'd be awesome. Do you want to give it a
I
shot?
can try it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jonathan. I think that's great.
Just have one comment, which is that some of the cutting that's going on is actually by NICEAG, because they stopped at my door today to tell me that they were, the brush cutting and stuff.
But NICEAG is one of the,
But I asked him if he was doing it for the internet installation, and he said no.
oh, okay.
He said when they do it, it's not gonna be as nice as when I do it.
They're the nice thing is cutting the treetops off.
Yeah, so because they're near the. Anyway, so some
They're
of
just-
that,
They're just clearing lines.
They're-
The iron something?
it's the ironworks.
Yeah, I
So
talked to them
iron- yeah.
yesterday.
Ironworks is doing the clearing the lines as part of their regular
Yeah.
maintenance,
Okay.
which they do like every 5 years.
So Ironworks is also doing broadband clearing.
Okay, well, this guy said he was
Okay.
just doing.
Oh, wow, they're doing both, huh?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Or he didn't know.
I know, he said,
Maybe
he
he
said he was a
doesn't.
supervisor, but whatever.
We just said go clear the lines.
Yeah, but they are clearing it, I think, in not, where they were clear, they really lopped off my weeping willow. But anyway,
So you let them have it?
he actually came to apologize, but I remember when they,
That's nice.
I remember when they were here before, though, that's the thing. We had this conversation and he told me where they were gonna go next, and it's not near where the fiber optics can go. It's
Okay.
gonna go a different way. Anyway, and I remember they did all this before. So I think it was partly routine maintenance and partly,
Okay. I just know that, I mean, there's Danella and Ironwood and NICEAG out in there,
and some Richards or something, Richardson.
Richardson
Yeah.
also.
I've seen that. Anyway, there's a lot of stuff going on with this reassuring.
Great. Super. Thanks for that, John. So we can, I think that's a great idea.
Oh, I also just want, one more thing about the lighting is that. I mean, I'm not particularly a fan of what the lights are, but they do serve as safety. But
Exactly.
one of the, I was looking at the roadway departure money that was available last spring, when the roadway departure safety action plan from New York State, it's a big grant. One thing you could apply for was lighting, to light corners and areas to make them safer for drivers.
Good.
Add that in there.
Also, maybe as part of our informational thing is to compare light scatter between the old fixtures that were sodium vapor and the new LED fixtures.
Hmm.
And it's a lot improved.
And we chose a softer lighting, the LEDs, right then?
We chose a lower Kelvin, which is a warmer.
Right.
Yeah. So. Yep. Great. Anything else? Nope. Okay. Move on to the town clerk's report. Jesse.
All right, October revenues were a total of $1,555.30. Licenses sold in October, 9 hunting and fishing, 32 dog renewals, 2 marriage license, 3 marriage transcripts, and 8 building permits. I also wanted to mention, you guys probably aren't familiar, but the DEC, when I sell hunting and fishing licenses, they used to be printed on this special paper that New York State would provide to us. They were more of like a stock, thick, glossy paper tags. Now they're just printed on regular paper. So there were some commercial places like Dick's Sporting Goods and Walmart, where you could go, hunters could go and get their hunting licenses from. Well, those establishments those venues aren't doing them now that they're not getting the paper. So I'll have a better number next month because Doe licenses just came up for resale in November, but I would say on a typical year, 7 years I've been selling licenses, I've probably done, I don't know, 50 a year. This year I'm up to almost 200 licenses that I've sold. There's people coming from Montour Falls and a lot of different places now that there must be somewhere in DEC where you could go and see where agents, where, they sell them, and people see Caroline and have been coming to me. So we do get a very small percentage of that revenue, but it's revenue nonetheless. So I just wanted to mention that.
Thanks, it's really great information to have. That's quadrupling the hunting in town, which is good.
Well, except I think they don't all hunt in town.
Oh, they're just buying them here and then.
Right. Yeah, I sell, you just have to be a New York State resident, so they could buy them. It doesn't have to specifically be for our zone. It can be further north or anywhere in New York State, really. So,
Interesting, okay. Weird.
Yeah.
and that's it.
Great. Thank you, Jesse.
Yep.
All right, highway, I'll just mention that, let's see, a couple things. Bob mentioned today that, so there is this piece of equipment called telelift or something, or anyway, it's like a forklift, fancy forklift.
Low.
Oh, or a lull, yeah, but that's one, yeah, so. Sort of like seeker, but anyway, anyway, I think it's coming tomorrow. We decided to order it, so
Oh, okay.
it's like here. And then he also mentioned that at the last meeting, we authorized the purchase of a used truck from Dryden. They are testing it out now. I guess they got it like on a trial basis from the town of Dryden. So that they're evaluating it, I'll just say. So I'll give an update on that later. Well, yeah, and then I mentioned that, yeah, they helping out with the Conex, and they'll be helping with receipt and offloading of materials when they come in, which is extremely helpful. So, Code Officer Ray submitted his written report earlier this week. I hope everybody saw it. I forwarded it. Any comments for Bob? He's busy now preparing for the December 2nd review board meeting. But yeah.
I mean, I'll just mention that when he assumed his position for many, many years, there had been piles of files across his office
Floor.
that this series of code officers had just left unattended. So he's now completely cleaned those up, cataloged them all, entered them into the system. So, and he doesn't really, that's not really reportable,
Mhm.
but that's been a huge lift. So we're now on track to begin anew to a certain extent. He's also, and I can't remember if this is in his report, whether he reported on fire inspections. And
The
he's
safety inspection.
safety inspection.
Yeah, he did.
He did, okay, so
He said he sent letters out.
that's also hasn't been done in years. So it's a good start.
Yeah. Great. Yeah, okay, great. And then county legislator, Dan Klein. Do you have a report for us, Dan? Here he comes.
All right, I'm in trouble here.
His mic is off, but I'm not hearing him.
We're not hearing you, Dan.
Not hearing you, Dan, yet.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
sorry,
thank you.
I'm having a little trouble there. Hi, everybody. Just a few things to report. First of all, the county legislature finished up its budget work for the year last night. We came in at a 3.6% increase in the tax levy, which is under the tax cap. So it's higher than we've been in the last few years, but it's not too bad. Let's see. Also, you might have been hearing a little bit about the TCAT issue. what happened was TCAT asked its three underwriters for $500,000 extra each. The county said yes, the city said yes, and Cornell offered $31,000.
What?
Yeah, which I've been saying is like leaving somebody a dollar in your will. So then we entered a period of negotiation. I'm not sure why we have to negotiate with them, but we did. And they came back yesterday with $280,000. So since that, last night was our budget vote, we put in 280,000, and that's what it is. Because I probably should have said this to start with. There's a rule in the bylaws of TCAT that each of the underwriters has to allocate the exact same amount. So whoever allocates the least wins. So it's $280,000 from each underwriter. TCAT has said
You
that
should have told them that Trump was asking for the 500,000 and you would have gotten it. Sorry.
no, it's good. I have lots more snarky lines in my head, but thank you. So TCAT has said that they're going to be running into some serious fiscal problems in the coming years, and that if they weren't able to get the allocation that they asked for, they might have to start cutting routes. Since this just happened yesterday, I'm not sure where they're at. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to, nip and tuck and cut and trim over here and not cut any routes based on this kind of intermediate allocation. That is yet to be determined. So stay tuned for that. And then the last thing I want to mention is that a Tompkins County resident put together a food resource guide for different towns in the county. And then the county chipped in some extra money to have several thousand of them printed. Do you know if any of them have made its way to the Caroline Town Hall yet?
I think so, Dan. I think we have a few of those. They look like bookmarks, or maybe a little bit bigger.
Yes, they're like a trifold pamphlet.
I think we did get a few of those. Yeah.
Okay, if you need any more or others from around town, let me know.
Okay.
I'm not sure where they are, but I think we're printing up several thousand of them. So
Okay, great. Thank you.
you're welcome. That's my report.
Okay, thanks, Dan. I just want to say I did hear on the WBBR on the weekend has a very a student does a little thing on community affairs, community things. So I did hear about at that point they were reporting that the county was allocating $500,000 for TCAT. So I'm just delighted to hear that. I'm very disappointed to hear that. I'm delighted that Cornell went up to 280, but I think it should have been double that or whatever, less than double to get to 500. But that's the direction we need to be going. That's pretty disappointing. But anyway, thank you for pushing the ceiling on supporting TCAT. That's really great.
Thanks. Of course, I agree with you completely. I wish it was the full amount. Just really frankly, and I know we're on record anyway, but Cornell's reasons for not funding the full amount are really not reasonable in my mind. They're really just making things up that are just really don't make sense. So, but there's no, there's no oversight of Cornell, right? There's no way to appeal a decision.
Yeah.
You can't even demonstrate.
I just wonder if they're gunning to try to get their own bus system.
No.
And this is
No,
a way
I
to,
don't think so.
They used to have their own bus system, the Cornell Transit, CU Transit.
because that's the way they're gonna go. They're gonna lose buses and they're gonna have to create their own system if they do this.
They know they can do this on the cheap. That's what's going on.
Yeah. John, there's a
And
couple.
even if it contracts, it's still gonna cover Cornell and Ithaca, the city of Ithaca.
There'll be,
So it used to be Ithaca Transit, CU Transit.
there'll be various.
A bunch of different ones, and they consolidated into TCAT.
What are you gonna say?
Sorry.
It's okay. Now, there's a couple of things. One is that in the transit agreement between the three partners, one of the things it says is none of the partners are allowed to do their own transportation systems separately. So if Cornell wanted to go the way you're saying, they would actually have to step out of TCAT. And the reason that they don't want to do that, and a point that I keep trying to make to them, is they benefit substantially financially from this partnership because they are not eligible for state and federal transportation funds. Only municipalities are. So they are getting a really good deal out of it. And either they don't understand that or they don't want to understand it. But I think if I were sticking around next year, I would start playing a little hardball and commission a study to see what it would be to dissolve TCAT and look at the financial implications of that and see if we could put a little fear into Cornell.
That's great, Dan. I mean, if we can help, I'm all in. So that'd be great.
Thank you.
I also wanted to acknowledge your note in the third newsletter that we published. I didn't get back to you on that, but I thought that was a really nice note. So, and we will certainly miss you, and thank you for your service.
Thank you. I appreciate you letting me put that in. It was definitely not the typical newsletter material. I appreciate you letting me do that. And I will be at your meeting next month. So let's do our goodbyes then.
Great. Any other questions for Dan? Great.
Congratulations on getting through the budget.
Yeah. Yeah.
Likewise.
Thanks.
Yeah. I'm also happy that the RMR program is funded for the next year. So thank you for that.
Yeah, actually, if I may, just a quick thing, we are exploring a next step, which is well short of what TCOG, was hoping for as a countywide ambulance. But we are looking, there is some state money that we have a good shot at getting if we want it, that would enable us to add one additional car. And that car would be staffed by advanced lifesavers rather than basic lifesavers. So it's not, like I say, it falls short of the full TCOG proposal, but it's a good intermediate step. That is not a definite thing yet, but that's what, if I had to predict, that's what's going to happen in 2026.
That's great news, Dan. So do you think that would be combined with, are the legislators thinking of combining that with expanding to 24/7 coverage?
I don't think we're going to get there yet. That's a big one. That would be a big step. This is an in-between step, I guess.
Okay. To be discussed, considered, whatever. Okay. Great. Anything else for Dan? Thank you so much, Dan.
Thank you.
Let's see. With that, I'll move on to the business of the meeting. And the first item of business is a resolution to, I guess I'll just offer a resolution to adopt the 2026 Town of Caroline budget as revised, the revised preliminary budget from our last meeting.
I'll second that.
Seconded by Kate. And I guess I'll first ask, does anyone have any thoughts? I have two changes that I would like to recommend for this. So one of them is the A6989.420, which is just it's been a small donation really to the Industrial Development Agency each year. And I'm questioning why we do that. I don't know why that's really even necessary. So
How much is it?
$250 bucks.
We've just done it for years.
It's small. I've just sort of inherited the process.
I guess I would suggest if you're gonna stop doing it, we should have a better informed rationale for it. So I'd recommend that we look into it for next year. to figure out why we're doing it,
Okay,
you know, just. So we understand the history of why it was done. Just in case it would rattle any, you know, rough.
all right, I guess,
It's not fair much money.
we could ask Dan if he has any insights on.
Yeah.
On
Man's
that.
still here.
I think so.
I'm still here.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the first I've ever heard of this, and I was literally just typing a email to the chair of the IDA asking him what this was about. So no, I don't have any info for you, but I will find out as soon as I can.
Okay, yeah,
And they're the ones that changed the. In lieu of taxes from $4,200 to $3,900, right?
well, they administer pilots and
Correct.
incentives for
Right.
developers. That's their role, but. So, yeah, so, and they are essentially they're sort of a body of the county legislature, correct, Dan?
No, I wouldn't say that. We appoint them, so we do have a lot of influence, but they are an independent organization.
But isn't the board composed of county legislators? Isn't that where the decision part happens?
No, so there's 3 county legislators on it. I think it's a 7-person board, or maybe an even 8-person board now. So yes, we certainly have an outsized influence on it, but we don't actually control it. And like some other organizations, they make their own decisions. We don't override or have any kind of oversight over them.
Oh, right, okay, yep. Yeah, I didn't mean the legislature as a whole, so thank you. Yeah. Okay, yeah, any information you can gather about that, be appreciated, thank you.
Sure thing.
So hold that one off. The other one is when I recalculated the annual wages for the code officer line, they're about $10,000 less than based on actual and increasing it by a day for next year. So I originally had 76 something based on the recalibration based on actual, and increasing by a day comes out to about 65,000. So I thought maybe like I did that for other hourly lines, basing it on actual and projected. So I was thinking that is a more realistic number, and it might make sense to put that in. Question, John?
What's the total then?
65,000.
65 what? 1,000
65,000, yeah,
from what?
76 something. I don't remember the decimals, but yeah.
Less or more? I didn't catch that.
Oh, it's, so the original, in the preliminary budget, it's now 76,000.
Mhm.
So this would make it about 65,000.
It's a big difference.
But what it is it's a more realistic expectation of the cost. So currently, currently the code officer works hourly. And so what Mark did was consider the number of hours that he had expended since he took office, instead of just imagining the top of line figure. This is more realistic estimation. And it then also brings things a little bit more in line across the board in the town. So it just makes sense, you know, but it's really because it's based on actuals as
Right.
opposed to estimations.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, that's right.
Oh, makes sense. So it's less, right, than what you thought? Okay.
But it's still, it's like, this is what we're saying for our budget.
Mhm.
That's not a hard number, you know, but it's. I felt like the 65 number was more realistic based on how things are going and how we expect to change the next year. But you're right, I mean, 10,000 or whatever, that's a lot of money.
We're gonna vote,
Sure. Are you comfortable with that change? Either way,
I mean. Considering that the whole of the budget, it's not much, really.
yeah, it doesn't, either way, we're under the tax cap.
Yeah,
It will reduce the levy a bit. Little bit, yeah, okay. Don't call for a vote for that. So changing that line from 76,902 to 65,000 would be the proposal.
I'm sorry, Mark, is that line, is that 3620.1?
Correct. Jesse.
Okay, thanks.
Do you need a second for that?
I think somebody seconded it. Kate did.
I did.
Kate seconded.
Yep.
Call for a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Great, thank you.
Yay.
And so let's see, but that was,
That was for that. Wait, did I?
now we have to call a vote on adopting the budget. Actually, Kate,
I
you
did.
seconded. the
I
budget.
seconded the budget. I didn't.
Right, so let's say Michelle seconded it, the sub.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I was asking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a good point. I
Yeah.
got lost in the weeds. So,
I'll second that.
okay, you seconded that one.
Yeah.
So that one's approved unanimously. And then with that approval, I'll offer a resolution to adopt the 2026 Town of Caroline budget as amended. And so that's, and Kate had already
I had seconded that.
seconded that, so
Yep.
call for a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye,
Aye.
opposed? Great, thank you. We
champagne,
finished the budget.
Hmm.
No champagne at the meeting, so kombucha, so.
it's my preferred anyway.
Yeah, me too. Okay, at his request, I will offer a resolution to reappoint Steve Nicholson as the town's representative to the Tompkins County Environmental Management Council. Speaking of municipal committees, seconded by Tim. And I had intended to ask Steve to see if he wanted to give us a report tonight, but I forgot to, so, but we'll do that soon. I'll have it covered.
I'd like to say I really appreciate his service over all these years.
Yeah,
To the
he
town.
likes this.
Yeah.
Position, he likes doing this, so. Great. And I did get a second for that.
Yeah.
Okay, call for a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Great, that passes unanimously. Offer resolution to set the 2026 employee wages. So resolve the Caroline Town Board hereby approves a 2026 wage increase for non-union employees of 2.7% and propose the same for union employees. And the statutory increase under the contract, union contract is 2%. So this deviation from contract terms will require an agreement from the union, which I've already requested, so. And further be resolved, the Caroline Town Board hereby adopts the Tompkins County living wage, minimum wage of $24.82 per hour. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Michelle. Any questions? We have a call for a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Great, thank you. The next resolution is to set the 2026 employee health insurance terms, specifically the cost share for the premium. Resolved, the Caroline Town Board hereby establishes that full-time employees qualifying for the town's health insurance plan, Gold Plan, shall be responsible for 16% of the premium in 2026. Anybody want to second that?
Second.
Tim's seconded. Any questions? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay, moving right along. I will offer a resolution authorizing the 2026 Caroline Fire Protection contracts. Resolve the Caroline Downs Board hereby authorizes the supervisor to sign the 2026 Caroline Fire Protection District contracts with Speedsville Volunteer Fire Company and Brookendale Fire District. Do I have a second?
I have a question.
Second first, and then we.
Second first, okay,
Well, or do. Typically, we second and then discuss.
that's fine.
Okay, second, I'll take that as a second.
Okay,
Okay. Excitedly seconded by Jonathan. So, question?
can I unsecond it if I have my question and I don't agree with the answer and then I can. vote?
I guess we would,
Then I just.
well, okay, you can ask the question.
Then you vote no.
Then I vote no. Okay, fine. I'm not gonna do that. My question is what is it the same as last year? Has it changed? The contract,
The amounts that we held the public hearing and looked at the contractual amounts. The contract hasn't changed, the language of it.
and these are contracts that they have also agreed to? Or we say yes and then they say yes, or they say yes and then we say yes?
We say yes and present it to them and then they say yes.
And is there a history of saying, I don't agree, or is it pretty much every time it's been?
No, so the language of these contracts, they've been comfortable with. I provide them all of the necessary, like, maps of the fire districts and, so all of that. So really the thing they care about is the contract amount, the terms of the amount. And we do that when we pass the budget. So, yeah. So Speedsville's contract amount, I think, went up by 15% this year, which is a little unusual. Like some of their costs went up, and I think they're buying a new truck. Brookendale's for the fire protection district stayed the same as last year and the year before. So. The language of the contract is sort of like the lighting project that you volunteered to earlier. And so maybe this is another opportunity. Because we could really critically look at the language of the contract and what's required and what, reevaluate. So I do appreciate your question because so we, the town board, are for the purposes of the Caroline Fire Protection District, which is just one of 3 districts in the town. The other 2 are Brookendale and Slaterville. But the town one, we're like the board of that Caroline Fire Protection District. So, it's a good thing if we can attend board meetings on a fairly, not monthly basis. They do meet monthly, but I think if we attended or had a representative attend 4 times a year or at least a couple times a year, that would be good.
And then this is the fire hall across the road.
No, that's Slaterville.
Okay,
So the Caroline Fire Protection District is covered by a contract with Brookendale and Speedsville.
oh, so the other 2 are.
The other 2, yeah. So I think that's a really good thing for us to be thinking about. I would say before this year, I attended some Speedsville early in the year, but I'd like to attend, a few times a year, and I haven't lately. So I think that would be a good thing to re-up. And it could be a couple of us attending or switching off between the 2, something like that.
And is it open to the public, or
Mhm.
we would be invited, or we can just go because we're part of the board?
We can go, but it, it's nice to give them a heads up, like planning to attend. They always invite, do you have any comments? Anything to bring to the fire department's attention or the fire district's attention, so. Yeah, and it's a good experience. Good question, yeah.
I seconded it.
You seconded it, do you wanna undo your
No, I
second?
don't.
Okay, good. I've never heard of undoing a second, but I don't know if you can do that, so. I think what you do is vote no and then hope it fails and then go from there.
Hold your nose.
Yeah, hold the nose. So with that, I will call for a vote. All in favor? Say aye, raise your hand. Aye. Opposed? Great, that is adopted. The next resolution is authorizing me to sign the 2026 agreements for cooperative purchasing of workers' comp insurance. This is the General Municipal Law 119-0 agreements that allows us, so what we do is the town purchases workers' comp insurance, and then Brookendale and Sladeville they pay us for their shares, for their coverage, so. Did I get a second for that one?
I'll second
I
it.
think Kate was making some noises there. Oh, yes, okay. Seconded by Kate.
Second by Kate.
Any questions or further comments? If not, I'll call for a vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Great. And then I'll offer a resolution to authorize myself to sign the 2026 agreement for legal services with Thaler and Thaler, a Guy Crow, Thaler and Thaler. Resolve the Caroline Town Board authorizes the supervisor to sign the 2026 agreement for legal representation between the town of Caroline and Guy K. Crow, Squire of Thaler and Thaler. Do I have a second? Second by Tim. And I did share Guy's memo of the increase in rates due to increases in life. So I'm glad to have Guy helping us another year, and he's willing to do so, so. With that, any further questions? I'll call for a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Great. Unanimously passed. And now we'll move on to the discussion of the court security report.
You guys mind if I had
Oh, please.
Okay, thanks for joining us. Yeah.
Thank you for staying.
Thanks for
Yeah,
staying.
yeah.
See you soon.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah.
Good night.
Yeah, take care. Good night.
Thank you.
Alrighty, I guess, I think, has everybody had a chance to go through it? Look at it?
Yeah.
So I guess what I would just say is, what are your takeaways? Rather than, I think, there are a few points in here that are not quite correct. So I was thinking, I could offer a clarification for those things, like what happens when a panic alarm is triggered, so that they know.
There's a key policy.
That there is a key policy, and this is what it is. But I guess overall, with regard to Old Town Hall security, and court security, did people find takeaways? The one takeaway that I got out of it was having backup generation.
Yeah.
So
Right.
that's-
We talked about that before. I was actually thinking, aren't we planning on doing that already?
Right, but not in this context, I don't think.
No, not in this
Yeah.
context, but,
Yep.
you know, I found, a lot of questions were not really pertinent to this building.
Right,
Where it was for, with the personnel involved and the rooms, like we don't have a series of rooms, right? You know, we have blinds on the windows. I mean, I'm just looking, so there's all blinds in the courtroom and ensure they're closed when the judge is present.
Well, I mean, that one could be fixed, I guess, but
Well,
yeah, these.
I'm just saying, if,
on
if
to-do list.
they wanted to close them, they could be closed. I do have a problem with some of these ideas seem to be assuming we have people who would do these things, like an employee who would set up the room for the judge or something like that.
We do, it's called the court clerk.
Okay. So that's,
Yeah, I mean, I think this is obviously kind of a checklist thing
Mhm.
that. You know, yeah, so,
yeah, it's definitely a checklist thing and for a different sort of building.
yeah,
And
I mean, I think it would have been really constructive when they did this study. To have one of us attend as well.
Mhm.
I think they should have,
Right.
so that there could have been more information applied.
Right.
Do we have prisoners that ever come in?
They come in, they are escorted by Tompkins County Sheriff's Department, but they don't stay here. They're
The dedicated delivery point. I don't know what that means.
right out front.
That's the dedicated delivery
Or do
point.
they come in on the side?
They have been. They've been let out at the side for various reasons, but they come in the front.
Right. So if there's like any kind of gathering out front that might turn ugly for some reason, they go up at the side, right?
But I mean, so the thing about prisoner or whatever, or detainee delivery is. I mean, the sheriff's department pulls up right out here in front. And it's 20 feet to the front door and they come up, so I think it's.
Well, this is their recommendations, and if it's already, if we're already doing that,
Yeah.
why have they stated that there needs to be a dedicated delivery point?
I don't know.
That's kind of a question. I mean, there were a few things
Yeah.
like they.
Yeah,
There was something about a barrier between the judges and the rest of the room, right?
oh,
And I-
really?
Yeah, I mean, I consider this a barrier, but,
Yeah, I think, you know, some places there's a rail.
so there are things that they suggested that I thought, I think we're doing that already.
Yeah.
If funding is available.
Yeah. I mean, so I could see the, you know, the generator. What about the intrusion alarm system?
What would that be?
If funding permits, install an intrusion alarm system that covers all windows and doors.
I don't know. I mean, they also reported that the windows can be opened from the outside. I would challenge that. I'd like to see somebody. Get in one of these windows
Yeah.
from the outside. I mean, you could throw a chair through it and then you'd be in, but.
And again, I think they're looking at it, comparing it to a building where the windows don't open, right? In the city courthouse. or
Right,
something.
okay. So they are openable, true.
That parking area that they should get special parking lot sites.
Yeah, I don't know about
I
that.
thought that was crazy.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I'm just like, it's not like they've got to walk down a city block and like it was, I mean, it's, you know.
Right,
um,
and I guess. You know, I'm happy to do that, but. I don't, the court's here for very few hours a week, so I don't wanna block off, you know.
The court clerk could get given little plastic signs and reserve parking space and she could put them out there.
on court days.
If it's important to.
Oh, for the judges?
Yeah.
So you put them out for the judges?
Right, see, that's what it is, reserve parking for judicial and non-judicial court staff.
Yeah.
As near as possible to the entrance they use. Install signs.
Yeah.
Um,
I think it's not appropriate for our situation.
What about the lighting?
If we had a Walmart parking lot or something like that,
I mean, when we had some concern for our safety. We did, we did park on the other side of the building, so I didn't have to go that way, just in case. Right, go out this door and go to the parking over on the other side of the town hall. But there's an exit there, it's not like. I don't know.
So I have a suggestion.
yeah,
There's a lot here.
Yeah.
I started really starting to ask questions in my head about some of it. And we could be here all night.
yeah,
I'm just wondering if there's a,
make a list or something.
I don't know, a committee or someone to work on it, look through it and really parse out things that are appropriate versus not, or the things that are really feasible, or list all the things that would need investment.
Mhm.
Because that's different than some of the little things that we
Could
could
just
tweak or
do.
fix.
Yeah.
It just seems like there's a
Look-
way you can organize it so that we can chunk it out a
Yeah.
little easier, rather than it's just all, it seems like it's all over the place.
I think it's a good idea.
I was looking at the recommendation specifically, I stopped looking at all the individual check marks and started looking at recommendations.
Well, that's what I was,
Yeah,
talking about,
Yeah.
the recommendation.
okay.
But like, I was looking at the blinds, it said have blinds in the windows, I mean, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That one doesn't work.
Yeah.
There's no on that one, but like, do they work? If they do,
No, those-
do they need some, do they need to be upgraded? It doesn't say that, it just says it says blinds,
Yeah.
but there are blinds, so.
Yeah.
So they're, like, each thing, it has its own history, its own cost, its own, like, is it feasible?
So the blinds are feasible and should be done, and it's,
So I don't know.
We also,
Would we
Yeah, I
wanna even
mean-
do the blinds before we did the renovation?
No,
That's what I mean, some of this stuff I think
Probably
has to
not.
wait till after the renovation.
that's true.
And that's what I mean about the lighting, because when we've been, it says, if funding permits, install additional / sufficient lighting at entrances, exits, walkways and facilities perimeter. So
Yeah, I
I
just,
don't know that it's not, but we've been talking about lighting with the architects. for
Yeah,
the-
and
And
there's gonna
so,
be lighting on the building from that.
yeah,
it would also be interesting to hear what the new judge has to say about these concerns.
Sure.
Yeah.
But this is the report,
Right, this is,
so,
well, do you want me to go and I could make a list of all the recommendations, just so that they're in one place.
that'd be great,
Yeah.
or a couple of us could get together and then pass it along or something. I think it's a good idea, rather than thinking we're gonna do it tonight.
Yeah,
I mean, I almost feel like there's like 3 or 4 or 5 buckets that you could break. They don't have to be in this, the way they're organized here, we could organize it however we want. And that way, it might be more easier to kind of grapple in.
Well, I kind of like the
Right.
idea, I mean, I don't know, so they have these chapters.
Yeah.
With, like here, I'm looking at exterior, there are 5 recommendations.
Yeah, but each one, some of them are doable, some of them aren't.
I have them all X'd and 1 NA. So I think that's where
X meaning no way, not doing that.
it's not appropriate, it's not an issue, it's not even,
well, like the trimming or removing excess vegetation
Yeah.
around the front, like
it's.
there is no excess vegetation.
That's fine, it's not an issue.
Yeah.
And that goes along with, if feasible, create a more appropriate standoff distance at the court entrance. I don't even understand that.
Yeah.
So, but, I mean, Are you suggesting like we could divvy it up or something, or, I mean, I
We will
didn't.
likely reorganize the recommendations into more, so like if you're already making a list that they're not even. Shouldn't even consider them, that's already, you're forming one list. That we can take out of what we're talking about, right?
Yeah,
Can I make a recommendation that we quickly just walk through these recommendations? Star any that would need returning to and deal with it that way. I think it'll take us 10 minutes. So we can walk through this list.
All right.
Okay, so you're talking about the summary of the P and D?
Yeah.
Okay,
Recommendations.
okay,
So page 7.
I mean, there's some facts.
I think that's fine. I think that's a great idea, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So page 7 is exterior recommendations. So-
Perimeter search, okay, you can lead it.
That's fine. Well,
That's up to the court to do.
yeah, also I'll say, I'll just do no.
Right.
As staffing allows, conduct routine perimeter searches for contraband.
So what would you say?
I don't even,
That
Like-
doesn't pertain to us, that's the court's responsibility.
yeah, I.
Whatever that means.
So, and what's the concern here, really?
But I just leave that alone, the staffing allows fine,
Okay,
because we wouldn't do that, the court would do that.
so create formal protocol, this is number 2.
Right.
Create formal protocols and procedures for requesting and tracking the repair of burned out lights.
Call the supervisor.
And so the claim was that lights are replaced when they're burned out, but not timely. That is just so, it's just, I just put NA on that, that's just so ridiculous. If funding permits, install additional sufficient lighting, this goes to Michelle's point. I think we,
Renovation.
the renovation.
Renovation.
Number 4, trim or remove any excess vegetation around the front of the facility.
NA.
Exactly. If feasible, number 5, create a more appropriate standoff distance at the court entrance. Well, we're having, as part of the building renovation program, project, the front entrances, the platforms and the handicapped ramp are all gonna be redone. So that will be,
We could just say in progress.
yeah,
Yeah,
great.
page 10, parking.
Okay, so I'll let somebody else lead the next one.
All right. Okay, page 10, parking recommendations. Reserve parking for judicial and non-judicial court staff as near as possible to the entrance they use.
Isn't there some kind of reserve sign out there already?
It's for handicap
Oh, okay.
at each,
There's one staff parking place sign.
there's a staff one.
There's the staff one on the other side. Yeah,
I thought there was.
as it was.
Yeah, 'cause I think.
No,
this is-
there's no staff sign. They're both in handicap only.
Oh,
Okay.
That's right.
that there was, used to be one maybe.
There used to be a park and ride sign, but it's so faded that you can't, it's not really legible anymore. That's in the middle of the lot.
Well, this is the thing.
Well, let's star this one to be
Star this one.
consideration.
Okay. This was the one I was talking about, saying
Yeah.
that they could put something out.
So,
Or I was thinking of a sign that would say
At these.
reserved during court hours.
Right,
And have
put
the
the
court
categories.
hours listed
Yeah.
there.
Okay,
What they might change.
then they can change.
Yeah, well, or maybe we could have a clip on or something, I don't know.
Well, and I have a question about this, so this is why I think some of these are more detailed. Is I can imagine needing a specific parking place if the parking lot got filled up. But does that ever happen? Where there's not enough places for even the judge to park? So why does it matter?
I agree with you.
I mean, there've been times when they've had a big,
They have had a big
Thing.
turnout the last couple.
yeah, for like,
But the
say,
judge is already in here.
the judge is already in, here.
Those-
that's what I mean, the
yeah.
parking lot does fill up,
Sure.
but the judges are always here first.
Right.
And the judge and staff, so.
Install signs at these reserved parking places, okay, that's the same thing.
So, yeah,
So funding permits, install additional lighting around the parking areas.
so that's pretty much the same as the previous one.
Right.
With the light.
Yeah,
Yeah, except so then,
Ensure that the lighting is operational during court hours.
which is during the day.
Do they have an evening court hours? I honestly don't know.
Or like this time of year where it's darker in the
It
in
gets
the
darker.
evening, if they,
late afternoon.
We have parking lot lighting, we have our,
yeah,
our
there's-
water source,
there's
people are
like
there
a-
24/7.
There's a street light that we pay for at the,
And a
I
light,
mean, when we come and go, when it's dark, there's lighting there, so.
there's lighting,
Yeah.
it's town lighting.
NA.
Okay,
okay.
okay, moving on. All right,
Page 12, courthouse entrances and exits.
Who's reading?
Well, okay.
are you gonna do that one too?
Sure. Employ law enforcement personnel for court security and screening. Done, there's a bailiff.
So we, at their request, we pay for a bailiff.
Yeah, so bailiff. Ensure law enforcement personnel are present during all court sessions, that's the bailiff.
But is he here for every session or just certain
So-
trials?
That's again, I think,
They're responsible.
that's a court issue.
Right.
They think that's needed. I asked Velvet about it. In Richford, they have a bailiff, for DA night, so that's one night a month. If it's for all court sessions, that I presume would be 4 times a month. So,
So that's a funding issue.
Yeah, as funding allows, fine, next. If law enforcement personnel are employed for court security, procure a monitor and hand scanner.
NA?
or, I mean,
If funding permits, funding, again, if funding permits, that's fine. Funding doesn't permit currently.
I mean,
If they want to get a grant for that, they can get a grant.
Judge Barr has talked about then working on a grant,
Put that in our grant.
so she can, some of this stuff she can put in the
Right,
grant. and we
right.
can-
It would be okay to put
has
a
she
note.
mentioned,
I think we should just put a note about that when it says funding permits and it seems like they might be able to get funding for the technologies or whatever.
Yeah.
Let's just say that.
JCAP?
Yeah, totally.
So I'm gonna put JCAP.
Yep.
All right,
Security screening procedures that include the use of screening equipment.
NA?
NA. Entrance separate from the public entrance to be used by judicial and non-judicial staff only, renovation.
that'll be in the,
In progress.
Yeah. In progress.
that'll be when they do.
Right, the back entrance.
Yeah. All right,
Yes. Or. Building general recommendations,
okay,
page 21.
Okay.
Develop a fire evacuation plan and conduct annual drills.
That'll be up to the court, I would think.
I mean, I could see that, that's kind of part of the disaster plan, you're supposed to have an evacuation plan posted, I mean, we could do that.
This is like, so, if we were in a municipal building, like the Tompkins County building, up a
Right.
flight of stairs in the back, I mean. Do we really need to develop a fire evacuation plan for this building? And
Because they would just
conduct
go out
drills?
closest, we don't, yeah, they would just go out the closest door, there's,
Excuse my, but
you wanna put NA?
that's what I would put.
Well, one thing that might change is when you have a covered fire escape, it does get more complicated in the back. A little bit.
No, because we're gonna have.
There's gonna be a door.
The
It's not
doors
two
are
side
gonna
doors,
be here.
but if there's a fire
but there's
here
gonna be
and
doors.
someone in the back. It's at least 2 doors they have to get through to get out, and so it's just changed it a little bit, but.
But
We could have signage or something.
this says exit, right?
Renovation.
Renovation.
This is all part of the renovation. Establish mail screening procedures and provide training, that's up to the court as far as.
Well,
I'm
like
concerned.
keep all doors separating
Oh.
public and private areas.
That's again, that's up to them, this is for the
They
court
get
to
to
do,
choose, yeah.
that's their business. Establish mail screening procedures and provide training, court.
Well, they get their mail through Jesse, don't they?
No,
No?
I have a post office.
Oh,
box.
okay,
That's up to them.
all right.
Procure an emergency generator. This is something that's on our docket, so in
Okay.
progress.
Yeah, so that would be a star.
Install fence with a locking gate around generator and fuel supply. No, we've already decided not to do that for
Yeah, for the other one.
the other one.
Yeah.
Establish formal protocols and procedures for securing the facility at the close of business.
That would be
That's
them.
the court.
Lock the door.
Yeah, that's them though.
Yep. If they're employed for court security, law enforcement personnel install a safe or gun locker in a secure location to be used for securing legally possessed weapons and contraband
That they find in the bushes.
that they find.
So they come with whatever they come with and they leave with whatever they come with. So it's like, I don't see why we need to store stuff.
They're talking about
A larger
disarming
facility.
people coming into the court.
Oh, I see, yeah.
For securing legally possessed weapons.
No, this is for
Oh,
the,
this is for the.
for the security guards, but they wouldn't do that. It's not like they're gonna
Yeah,
walk
Just
in an
NA.
unsecure
NA.
area
NA.
into a secure area. That's what why they do that. There is no secure and unsecure area.
NA.
Yeah.
Okay, so NA,
Protocols, procedures for key distribution,
We've got that.
policy,
key policy, yeah.
policy.
Yeah.
Provide security personnel with keys to electrical closets and machine rooms.
What does that mean if employed? Oh, in other words, security personnel should have keys. to
Yeah, the
electric-
bailiff doesn't need those.
Why would a bailiff, yeah, why
Why would
would,
they need this machine room in the electrical closet?
I think they're talking about like if you have security personnel like walking around the
Yeah,
building,
gotcha.
you know.
Right, not
at certain
bailiffs,
times,
not
yeah,
bailiffs.
that-
might have to get in
NA.
and, you know, flip up.
if funding permits, intrusion alarm that covers all windows and doors.
That's,
NA,
I think so.
or if funding permits, if they want to apply for some kind of grant that would fund.
if they want to wire all of the windows in the whole building and get a grant for that,
They could propose it.
they can
Somebody
propose.
might
I don't know how you
feel
get
you.
the wires. I mean, would it be those ugly?
Yeah,
Yeah, I have reservations
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah.
So either NA or,
Yeah,
right.
or
Yeah,
please ask.
Yeah.
okay.
well, they can't really do anything to the building because it's to the building.
Intrusion alarm for their offices if they want
If they-
that.
is that?
If they want that, that's different. If feasible, expand existing web-based system by adding additional cameras or install security camera system that includes recording device. We have that.
We have all that. That's not in A.
Cameras should be positioned so they have access of egress points, buildings perimeter and parking areas.
Again, this is like public corridors,
Right.
like.
NA, we have that, we have that. That's okay. And again, if they had included one of us in the
In the meeting.
Okay, we're up to
meeting,
Clarified
Page
this.
this would
twenty-four.
have clarified. Page 24, prisoner delivery.
Oh, I thought we were at 29, 24.
24, this is simply up to the court. This is
Use,
all
locate
courtship.
and use a dedicated room for holding prisoners.
Well,
We
they
have
could
a
use the conference.
They
room.
probably do use a
Yeah.
conference.
Yeah,
Use
I mean, that's where they're supposed to be with
Right.
lawyers. So,
Alternative establish these,
That's-
it
this
could
is up
just
to
be
the
a
court.
seating
This is all
area.
court, right?
This is all
all right,
Management of prison.
courtrooms and ancillary spaces, page 29. Provide the judge and needs the exit in the case of emergency,
In progress.
right,
but they're there.
they're
and-
there
Yeah.
right now.
Definitely
And then also,
in place.
in place or in
Right.
progress.
Remove unnecessary items in the courtroom. There
Okay,
are-
so-
there are no unnecessary
No.
items.
Well, they want to get rid of it. If she wants to get rid of, remember, she commented on the
That's-
glass on it.
The glass table, somebody might throw at her.
Yes.
What?
There are no unnecessary items from the courtroom. Look at
Program
it
on-
there. And we use that table for. public
They-
meetings.
We use that, I mean, what do we use these for? I mean, I don't care.
I mean, the question is, who determines what a necessary and
This is a
necessary?
shared space.
It's a shared space.
But if nobody's using those, I could see getting rid of them.
Okay.
I already asked her to, you remember,
Yeah,
I asked.
yeah.
You need to let us know that you have the cabinetry to secure your records. And then we will manage the others.
So you could say either NA or in progress, whatever.
Yeah,
Program all court telephones to speed dial local law enforcement.
Yeah, so what's that? Are there court telephones?
they have telephones back there,
Okay.
but they have panic buttons. I mean,
So, done.
So-
911.
So when it says here duress alarms, they already have those?
Yeah.
That sounds like it's an old one, like, you know, I used to have, you know, a dial phone, or, you know, you could push a button
Yeah.
and it would dial
Yeah.
something.
hmm,
That was
It's
like-
gonna say at the judge's bench.
Well, can't we program
There's one
their
back there.
telephone to
judge's
speed
Right,
dial?
there's a panic button there.
yeah.
Yeah,
So-
there you go.
I mean, I'm sure you can program her telephone to speed
Yeah.
dial. So that's something they can do.
So what's the panic button linked to? It says link these alarms to local law enforcement and 911. When they push the panic button, where does it go?
Sure.
Goes to Pleasant Valley and law enforcement response.
So they've already got
911,
that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, so it's done, it's already,
Yeah. Mhm.
okay.
so they have a wireless duress alarm at the bench back there, in chambers and the clerk's office.
It's not wireless, it's wired.
Okay.
So-
What, this is
But we-
wireless.
Install wireless duress alarms.
Alternatively, test existing alarm
Wired,
to make sure. it
wired
works.
or more.
Yeah.
Dependable.
Okay,
Install blinds in the courtroom. We have blinds.
blinds, or you can say renovation, because I'm sure
Renovation.
once it's all done, these would be repaired, right?
Install a rail or physical barrier to separate public and
So
private areas.
ensuring they're closed when the judge is present, that's their business.
I think she's talking about putting something right here so you can approach the bench.
But there are, well, anyway, I think they're already,
We have a
Up-
physical barrier to separate
up
public and
there,
private areas.
they could put another plastic thing on the top.
You know, like in a church, we've got all.
No, I think they're talking about the window blinds. I disagree. Install blinds in the court.
No, I'm talking about the next
We're
one.
talking about the install
Oh.
rail or other physical barrier.
I see. I agree with Michelle.
I mean,
What's wrong with this?
I guess the thing is, are there, what's this area that we're sitting in? Is this considered public or private?
Well, people
For
sit
the
out
court,
there,
the
and the
lawyer.
judge
This-
is there.
This is all public.
Okay, so the barrier,
Private is their offices.
okay, so there is a barrier
Okay,
between, yeah,
yeah,
Yes,
Not applicable.
Yeah.
development, money handling procedures.
that's up to them,
That's up
right?
to them.
money should not be handled in the courtroom. So it's gotta be handled in the office behind it.
If feasible, it's not feasible. All deposits be made with law enforcement escort. That's not feasible.
How does she make the deposits? Does she just go to the bank by herself?
I think
She
the clerk.
puts a check in my mailbox, puts the justice's checks in my mailbox. That's how I get the court funds.
Huh.
So,
But do people pay in cash? for
no,
bonds or
it's,
something?
I don't think they do,
But they have
she doesn't do
checks.
much cash transaction at all.
Well, then
I think
it's
so.
not applicable.
I have to pay it.
That's just,
I had to pay a
Outlandish-
speeding ticket
outlandish.
downtown. I think I had to pay cash. That was like decades ago.
It's not feasible because the sheriff isn't going to provide an
No.
escort to take somebody to
No,
the.
it's not.
So
Right.
period.
so I thought she already had a safe. I know she does for the, petty cash.
But she has a safe.
Yeah.
Okay,
All right, so,
check,
Done.
done. Thank you.
Thanks, Lynn. Thanks for suggesting that.
We're
all
done.
right, so, there's just a couple of things that maybe we wanna, there was a couple of things to come back. Was there one thing to come back? Oh, the generator is the only thing to come back, right?
The generator
No,
will be
the blinds.
The generator will be part of the renovation.
So most of this will be resolved.
Yeah.
Outstanding things, I think, will be resolved with the renovation.
Yes,
Yeah.
So,
But I took notes online and I
So what's the next step then?
can
Is it
write up
gonna be written up and
Summary.
given to the court?
yeah, I'll write up a summary.
you're gonna write that.
Oh, unless somebody else wants to do it, but I'm happy to do it.
Okay.
Not tomorrow, but I will do it.
Well, they're not chopping at the bit for it or anything. They're not asking about it.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, I think the next step from them is gonna be, they're gonna ask for money for something. And we'll have to decide if we're gonna approve.
But they, you know, the courts are supplied this JCAP opportunity every single year.
Mhm.
So they have, you know, I think that's the way to go.
Mhm.
That makes-
Again, things may be changing next year. The new judge coming in.
Well, there'll still be needs and.
Yeah, that'll be neat.
Yeah.
That'll be neat.
Nice flowery blinds, something.
All right, well, we did it.
Okay, so good, thank you all.
I mean, this is a state report.
Yeah,
Overall, we want to pay attention to it. It could be a little bit more precise if one of us had been at the meeting, that's all.
I'm gonna borrow my report from you.
Yeah.
again. Thank you.
Where are we at?
All right,
Great.
we're not done, so
Budget transfer resolution.
yeah, so actually, the first thing I'm gonna offer is a budget adjustment resolution, so I'll offer budget adjustment. Carolyn, the town board hereby authorizes the following budget adjustment, singular. 13,200 increase DA 5112.2 chips and DA 3501 chips. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Michelle. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? And then I'll offer the following budget transfers. Resolve the Caroline Town Board hereby authorizes the following budget transfers. 900 from contingency to clerk contractual, 504 from contingency to legal contractual. 3,022 from stream maintenance contractual to 814.445 engineering creeks. For the engineering charges from Barton and Laguitas. $30.10 transferred from municipal dues to insurance. 175 from supportive highways equipment to supportive highways contractual. 357 from contingency to historian contractual. 8,000 from highway improvements personnel services to highway general repairs personnel services. 10,000 from highway snow removal personnel services to highway general repairs personnel services. $1,260.60 from highway machinery personnel services to highway machinery overtime, and then $4,000 from highway miscellaneous overtime to highway vacation sick holiday. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Kate. Any questions or comments or clarifications? Hearing none, I will call for a vote. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? And finally, I will offer a resolution to authorize the payment of the town bills in the following amounts for each of the funds. A fund, $45,980.09. DA fund, $162,724.48. And streetlight fund, $265.46.
Okay.
Seconded by Michelle. I think she beat you barely. And any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? And did people have a moment to see Jesse's minutes from the last meeting?
I did, yes.
Great, and so did I.
Problem.
Do you have any comments for Ms. Townsend?
Thank you.
Bravo.
Thank you.
The town board minutes of, what was that, November 5th? Are hereby approved. Thank you, Jesse. And let's see, where's my agenda? Okay, I think we're at the end of agenda. Anything else before we adjourn?
Well, I'll just mention, you did call for committee reports, but the planning board met last night and they're still working on the solar siting one, working on design standards and definitions
Okay,
to promote agrivoltaics.
great. Did you have a long meeting?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I mean,
No price to keep to an hour and a half, right? Or,
Yeah, so it's like a little bit past now, yeah.
okay. Well, thank you. That sounds good.
Did we want to discuss, that speeding situation, or we just want to bring that up the next meeting? With the,
Yeah, do you want to mention it or something?
I could mention it.
I don't think we want to,
Have a big,
I don't think we want to add it to tonight's agenda, but we could
Yeah, I
have it for
wasn't
the next
sure.
meeting.
yeah,
So
we could have it.
what it- just say what it is so everybody knows what you're talking about.
Okay, so, in Brookendale for the last couple of years, there have been the trailer speed, what are they called?
Like cables.
Well, they say, they say how fast you're going. You
Yeah.
come in and it says you're going 35 or, frowny face or happy face, whatever. At both sides, and they have been removed because of plowing. And so, there been some certain citizens talking about this today, reaching out to the county. I was going blank on the last name, Kelly from the Tompkins County Highway. Like last name, Chapman, thank you. Kelly Chapman has suggested that they could take some signs and put them on poles on Brookdale Road and Valley Road.
With digital
With a
numbers.
digital number.
Okay.
So she would need a letter from the town board saying that we would like this before she will move on it. So that's all. So we can. It's pretty straightforward.
Yeah, wow, so the county would do that then.
The county would do that. The
Hmm.
county would pay for it.
Well, her message wasn't
Was-
quite as committal as that.
Well,
It
the
was,
county
we
was
could conceivably, well,
use these repurposed things that she has now.
right,
There was no mention of payments.
right.
There was no mention of, I should say. So,
And the reason that she wants the town board to weigh in is because they've also received complaints in the past about these very same signs. So they don't want to just do it willy-nilly themselves.
Have a
Right.
public process.
Yeah.
yeah,
I actually just remembered something real quick.
Is it about this?
No, with someone related. I don't know if you know, there's a flock camera down in Brookendale now,
Mhm.
and I've been asking around. I had someone from the town ask me why how it got there, or why it's there, and everyone I've talked to doesn't know. And so I'm gonna reach out to the sheriff to find
Okay.
out. Oh, you did? So what did
You
the
didn't get my
sheriff say?
email?
No, I wasn't able to check today.
Okay, so I did share the email with you. Derek sent us a reply with a link to their information about it.
Great.
So it's really helpful. We did share that with two people who inquired either through Jesse or to me personally about it. So these are, license plate readers for law enforcement, if there's an Amber Alert or, that.
I know what they are.
Yeah.
It's concerning that they can just do it without any citizen or community engagement. It can just go up.
Well, they're on county roads, so.
True, but I drive there as a citizen of the town. I should still be informed at least that it was gonna happen.
It's,
I personally think it would have been preferable had the sheriff come to the town board to talk about where to put these things. Because they did tell us they were gonna put one out here,
Mhm.
and they haven't, I guess. But I think just as a matter of procedure, that would have been a preferable thing to do. And
Because at the very least,
and better
the
informed.
citizens come to us and say, what the hell's going on?
Yeah.
So then if we're not informed, we look dumb.
Right, I agree.
it's,
Yeah.
there are different groups in government in charge of different things, right? The different departments. And that's what I tell people. I mean, it's frustrating for us, right? But but we did find information site, at least we can direct people to that. Maybe there should be more oversight with the sheriff.
Which is really a county.
Which is a
board of rep
county board
situation.
rep situation, not a town board. So,
Why, the thing is, I called the county, no one knew anything.
Oh, who'd you call?
I called the clerk.
Yeah.
I called the planning department. I didn't talk to Dan, he might have known, but I asked Irene, because she's coming into office, I asked if she knew. She didn't. So, I don't know, it just seemed,
Well, we knew, we just didn't know they were putting it there. We knew they were doing
well,
it.
yeah, I
And
guess. a
maybe
year
this
ago.
happened before,
yeah,
maybe this happened before you joined the board, but the sheriff
Just about a year ago.
Right.
The sheriff came to the town board and it did come up.
Well, we were contacted in the office, it was either me or Jesse, was contacted by a contractor that said we want to put it, you know. we-
I think that's part of the-
And so well.
It's a
that's-
public-private issue, I think they get confused about who's responsible for telling who, or they pass the buck. Like the sheriff probably thinks the company is supposed to tell us, and the company
Right.
probably thinks the sheriff's supposed to tell us.
Yeah,
Most likely, that's probably what happened.
so he did say that they have a contract with this company.
Yeah.
Flock,
Mhm,
so I think that's probably exactly right.
mhm.
But I suspect that there's no requirement for notification of the public. Because this is a security system.
and
So-
it's also new, it's a new technology, right? So there's no
Well,
old.
it's been around for a couple of years.
Well, I'm just saying not.
Three.
Great.
At least.
Yeah. I mean, I will just add that there was, and it's in town swimming hole this summer. And, the sheriff wanted to track the people who left, and.
So you're responsible for this.
No, I'm not responsible for it. I was-
I think we
I
should.
can see a reason for it because,
Oh, yeah.
you know, I really can.
Of course.
So,
And I share the concern of some of our citizens
I,
about the over surveillance society, so it goes two ways.
yeah, I mean, I can see that side as well. So,
But I think the bottom line is we've answered the question, and so now you know what to say.
Right.
Yeah, and,
Yep,
And unfortunately, it took some digging to get the answer, but.
so, back to the speed limit, thing, so I think that, get some more information, discuss it, the next meeting after Thanksgiving.
yeah, I mean, I guess my only thought is about, it sounds, so you and I met with Tom Knight, the new head of
Yep.
the Transportation Council. And it sounds like you and he walked the hamlet.
We have not yet, that's on the third
Oh.
of December.
Oh, that's the third, okay.
Um,
And we were planning to walk it.
We are planning on walking
And
it.
I thought the idea was to kind of, evaluate ideas and sort of, you know, come up with a game plan. So does this fit in with that?
That does, it fits in with the idea of, it's kind of funky, but it fits in with the idea of a gateway treatment. You know, I mean, there are a number of pieces that would fit in with the whole plan, right? But, right now, with the Safe Streets for All program, right? The idea was we got money to put a plan in place so that we could then apply for pieces of the plan,
Understood.
right?
Yeah, right?
That funding is probably not there anymore. The plan is still good for trying to get money from other sources like the state. But, you know, I would say that these signs would be a beginning, at least, you know, of, a way to,
So do we discuss this at the next meeting?
Yeah.
yes, let's do that.
I think
But
that's,
I couldn't
Yeah.
just let what you said go, because it's not,
what did I say?
you were saying that we should wait for the plan to be all put in place. Or that we were putting a plan in place and then we should move on this. I'm thinking it fits in well.
Okay,
And that the plan that
Very
is in place, there is a plan in place
okay,
that can be built on.
understood.
I did send out an email with links to the Safe Streets for All plan. to finish that you
Great.
can look at.
Very good. Anything else?
Nope.
I just have something really quick.
Okay,
I did hear back about the countywide disaster plan, and they said it'd be finished, the template will be finished in 2 weeks. They're proofreading.
nice. That's great.
And I'm gonna take that webinar on applying resilience to communities, which is next Tuesday. Which is actually the third in the series of webinars. I missed the first two, but it's about communities and resilience. And so I'm following up on resilience initiatives, and I met with that grad student that's been working with Beth Harrington. We had some conversation, anyway, so I will have more probably.
Thank you.
Okay. For your.
Can you forward that link to that event, or is it closed?
You know what I did? I forwarded you the thing.
But that was more of a generic website, but is it in that website?
Was that a generic website?
Yeah.
Because since I've registered for it, I no longer have the link. It's just.
Oh, okay.
But I can forward you again, my response to, I said, I signed up for this webinar
Oh, okay.
and I sent it to everybody.
Okay, maybe I just haven't looked, that's fine.
You can look in your email or I can send it again.
That's fine.
It's Tuesday at 1 o'clock.
Did we vote down the meeting yet, or no?
You have
I
not.
thought we
you have
did.
not
We haven't
received
closed
the
it.
resolution.
You can't leave
I'm
go.
gonna stand while
We
we
haven't
vote.
adjourned. We're
You
not
have to
voting on
sit and
anything.
adjourn.
Great.
Okay, so,
Okay.
or I guess we will. So
I have something else.
can I offer?
No, you don't.
Can I offer a motion to adjourn?
Yes.
I'll offer a motion to adjourn.
I second it.
Second by Michelle, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Great, thanks
I have
everybody.
a kid at home, so I'm just gonna go.